How to create a gradient whirlpool effect in Photoshop. Something like that. I'm using CC220. Key thing is create a document 1000 by 1000, transparent background, and use the elliptical marquee tool. Create it in the center. Don't go near the edges, so just fairly small. And then select, modify and feather. Set it to 80, click OK. Now what you want to do, fill it with a gradient. Now I'm going to go with a basic gradient there. Just click on the gradients, select one of the basic ones. Click OK. Now I'm going with a radial, and I'm using blending mode normal here, but you could use difference to create more interesting designs, as well as reverse is set on. And you can apply it a number of times to create different gradients. I'm just going to go with that one. You can undo and apply it again and again until you're happy. Now go to the select menu and deselect. It's a layer. What you can do, you can reposition the layer. Now don't position it right near the edge because you don't want the shadow to the feathering to be cut off. Now repeat that design, just Alt or Option and duplicate by dragging, and then resize it slightly, just using the bounding box. Again, Alt or Option key and drag, and then again resize it and position it so it's aligned diagonally. And you can repeat that a number of times. I'm going to do that 4 or 5. Again, resize that. Make certain the show transform commands is on, that's in the top left. And then reposition it. Now you can reposition those gradients anywhere. So you could position it up the top, maybe duplicate it, maybe along the side, maybe create multiple copies. Maybe make variant gradients so you don't have to have the same gradient each time. So you can make it out of 3 or 4 different gradients. It's another possibility. Or maybe resize the spheres as well. Once you've done that, what you can do it each time you've just changed something. You can always go to Edit menu and Define Pattern. Also, you can select all of that design, turn it into a smart object. So Layer menu and Smart Objects. Convert to Smart Object. Apply adjustments to it. Apply effects to it. Filter menu. You can also resize it and duplicate that. So hold down the Alt or Option key and duplicate. So you can create multiple copies and then go again, Edit menu and Define Pattern. And you can do that obviously a number of times. I'm not going to I could create hundreds of variations of this. When it's going in and out and multiple layers of it, multiple copies, backwards and forwards. You've got to stop at some point and then actually use it. What I'm going to use the fill command in the edit and fill command in the other document. So now they've all been defined. Go back to this. I want to create a fresh document. So now with a fresh document, go to the edit, and I could apply this to a layer. So I could go layer and new layer. So edit and fill, make certain pattern is on, go down to the custom patterns and choose that one. The one that you've just created, the first one I just defined. Script, set on, and symmetry fill is the option there. Click OK. And you can see your design. I'm using number 7 for the type, but you can use 8, that's really good as well, 9. But you can also vary the width and height, and a variety of different designs can be created simply by moving the width and height back and forth. Color randomness set to 1. So you've got your design there. Not really a whirlpool, but I'm just showing you that you can create all kinds of different designs simply by using exactly the same pattern. Just vary the height. That's more like a whirlpool effect. Again, click OK. And you can see your design there. You can see the individual dots there. And you can vary the underlying pattern as well. Go back to that pattern, define it again if you're not happy with the design. Click OK. Now, in the symmetry fill, again, you can vary the scale as well, pattern scale at the top. combination of width and height can create a variety of different designs, whirlpool-like designs. So you could use 7, 8, 9, perfectly reasonable as well. Click OK. And that's just from one pattern design. Of course, you can go and use the other patterns that I've created as well. So edit, menu, and fill. So make certain it's symmetry fill. But you can go and select one of the others. And I've got lots of other examples earlier. Variations. You can use like styles as well. So you can create the design, add a style to it, and then define as a pattern. So now that's using the second design I created. And again, you can vary the scale, make it a bit smaller, make it a bit bigger. And you can use that to create a layer. So you go to layer menu, new layer. So you can add it to a new layer. So you can make it very, very small, or you can go all the way up to fill the entire screen. But again, the key thing is vary the width and height. And you can create like a star design there or flower design. Really beautiful sort of bursting out. And that's just by subtle changes to the pattern source, using very similar to the actual gradient you created earlier. You've got your more whirlpool-like effect there. And it really just depends, just simply experiment, just move and change that width and height. Just set it like 0% and you'll suddenly get a beautiful effect. And again, using exactly the same pattern again, but this time just change the width again. Push that close to the minimum. Go the other way. You can see the preview sort of matches the end result. It's not perfect, but it's a lot closer than some of the others where you've got spiral, doesn't resemble anything most time. And then you've got a lovely whirlpool effect there. We've got like that lovely shadow, sort of like, looks like a weird, colourful mountain range. Very unusual. I'm not certain what you can call it a mountain range, but it looks mountain range-ish. Again, edit and fill. And you can go and select the other one. And that was the one where it was going from big all the way to small, small to big. Click OK again. And you can see again, lovely whirlpool effect there as well. Again, just keep varying, keep experimenting with the shadows to layer it. And you don't have to just apply it once. You can apply it 3 or 4 times. What you can do, apply it once. Just apply it like that. Just apply it, click OK. And then just slightly vary the pattern scale or slightly vary the width. Maybe make it 31, make it 32. And then you will see it slightly shift a bit. And it will be applied. Apply it on 2 layers or 3 layers, 4 layers. Use blending modes to combine them to create all kinds of really unique designs. And of course, all those designs can then be modified by effects. So just creating a new layer there. Now with a new layer, what I need to do, because the pattern doesn't come with a initial scaling feature in here. It'd be really nice if there was. There isn't. So what you have to do is go into the pattern itself and there's a pattern scale. And then what you do, just shift that down, make that a bit smaller. Now the end result sometimes does change what the pattern looks like. So you might have to remodify the width and height settings to get something that you think more like a whirlpool or the effect you want to create. Again, a variety of different designs can be created. But now when you apply it, so you apply that effect, you go and say, right, that's it. Go and click OK. That's on a layer. And as a layer, you can turn that into a smart object. You can go and apply a filter effect to it, liquefy maybe, using it, turn it into a smart object via layer menu, smart object, and then go to the filter menu and liquefy. Or maybe just do alter option and drag and duplicate it, fill the entire screen with this beautiful, colourful swirl of colours, whirlpool. You can see the design there. And you can layer it, maybe apply with that, each of those layers, you can go and apply a style, or maybe add a shadow or a bevel. Maybe use it on a timeline to vary the positions. But what you can also do, you can go back to the pattern source. It's still there. It's still but I'm going to remove that one. I don't want that one. I'm just going to go back to the initial thing. But again, it's a smart object. You can go into the smart object and vary it if you want. But you can also go just apply filters to it. So filter menu and liquefy and distort it in. And another one you can use that's really good, like wave. Wave is quite a good one in the filter menu. You can stretch this back and forth, so distort it left and right, change the size, use verse 12s or whatever in this. So you can just vary it in numerous ways. Push it now the other way, stretch it backwards and forwards. Actually, it's probably best to have it slightly the other way because you can't see the different spheres in it. Well, I'm just shifting it slightly there. So you can create a nice sort of curve to that design. It's got a smeariness as well, sort of blurriness to the design. But you can also hold down the Alt Option key and drag and just duplicate it. Create multiple copies. And you've got that lovely shadow that's been just layering on top each time. And you could, of course, I'm just layering it just all parallel to each other, but you don't have to do that. You could maybe spread it over the document, different positions, maybe lower down, maybe scale it like before. And again, what you can do, edit menu and define pattern, click OK. So that's now defined as a pattern. And again, you could go to the styles or maybe layer menu, styles, and add a shadow to it or bevel. You can go now to edit menu and fill. Make certain you select the design you just created. There's that one. And then click OK. Now obviously change the scale a bit so you can see it. Now it's near enough to say you can now see a lovely wave design effect there, just being layered. And again, you can vary the height and width. Create all kinds of quite unique designs. Once you're happy with your design, click OK. So you've got that design there. And of course, you can always go and apply effects to that. Or maybe adjustments. Or undo it. Edit menu, undo. If you're not happy with it, undo it. Sometimes some of the nicest designs are actually when the values are quite small. You can create this sort of weird, very weird, surreal, unusual, not even really certain what I can describe that as. Icicles? Ice mountain? I don't know. Obviously it's multicoloured, but what you can do, of course, you can go to adjustments, recolour it. Make it sort of like an ice structure. You can keep doing this, just keep experimenting, going backwards and forwards, just trying different settings to make some just beautiful crisscrossing designs like that. Wave designs really make that sort of nice weaving in and out. It's really quite effective. Or ribbon design like that. So it's sort of got like a little sort of ripple as it ripples out from the centre. And you apply it 3 or 4 times. I mean, I applied it just once there, but you could go and change some of the settings slightly, so the height and width, and then apply it again. And you can create another sort of weaving out so it can fill it even more. And also you can go and apply filters to it. So filter menu, stylize, oil paint, set the stylization, etc. high, click OK. So it's a beautiful way. And then once you've done that, of course, you apply it a couple of times, the oil paint. You can also go to image menu and adjustments, maybe levels, maybe variants, maybe make it a bit more vibrant, more garish colour. I like that. Up to you, of course. And again, what you can do, you don't have to keep it that sort of extreme colour. What you can do, you go to image menu adjustments and colour lookup. Maybe go to green and red or sepia, etc. So you can create all kinds of designs. And that was all created just from a very simple gradient sphere that was duplicated and modified in a couple of ways. But you can, of course, modify that in thousands of other ways, like say using styles, using other effects, distortions, wave filter, liquefy, maybe duplicate it multiple times, flipping it over using transforms. So you can apply that, then rotate it around and layer it on top of each other, resize it, weave it from a central point, add a shadow to that effect. The key thing is avoid going over the edge with your design. And again, so at any point you can always go to and edit and define pattern. And that design can then be used with the fill command. Create even more super colourful backgrounds, overlays, whatever you want to use them with. Of course, you can also use them with selections. Hope you found this tutorial of interest. Please subscribe to the Graphic Extra channel. Always adding new tutorials about Photoshop, Illustrator, etc. Comments, always appreciated. Also, a dislike or like. Thank you much.